and welcome to another episode of
The Smut Club,
the podcast where smut is better with friends. And we have no friends.
I know, I was going to say, I will occasionally go back through and listen to our podcast because it's adorable and it makes me feel like I've got my friends with me.
It's a really good podcast.
It's a great podcast. I am proud of my work. Our work, for sure. But I thoroughly enjoy whenever Bean is with us, or Savannah, or Hope, or anyone, and then you hear the friends.
The friends.
You hear the chorus.
The chorus of the friends.
The chorus at that intro. Y'all, what a book we have for you today.
Oh, with a classic Anna Katie smut moment.
Classic and Anna Katie mess around.
Honestly, yeah, that's right. The C.C. Winston mess around. Now, wait a second. Who am I in this?
Oh, yeah. I named my dog after Winston
CC.
Bishop. Yeah, you get to be CC. Your boobs are bigger. You and CC have the big boobs.
So true.
I will happily be Winnie the Fish. AKA
Brown Lightning.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, sidebar. So sorry. Classic Anna Katie Smut Club moment.
Yes. And y'all, so we are reviewing Bride by Ali Hazelwood.
It came out 5 minutes ago.
Yep.
We gobbled it up with a spoon.
That's right. You know we love her on this podcast. She writes gorgeous, gorgeous smut. STEM all over the place.
STEMinist masterpieces.
And this time she blessed us with a romantasy that is so fucking filthy, y'all.
It is nasty. And you know, I was not sure going into it. I'm like,
really?
I really wasn't. And by now, I should trust Ali Hazelwood. I should know. I am hit or miss sometimes with romantasy,
okay,
which I know that's treasonous. I know. I get it. I generally really love romantasy. I don't seek out romantasy unless my friends are like, no, this is really good. You should read it.
Yes, I like it to be vetted first, especially.
Yes, that's what I mean.
This one I was all in for because you know what? It's 400 pages long, and perfect. I can't. Whenever I look at the 1,000 page Sarah J. Maas book, I'm like, honey, I can't do it.
I, as an Outlander girly as well, which I've never ever mentioned on the pod, but
it's new information to me.
So new information. So long. They're so long.
Yeah,
and it's these long wrong holes.
It's so much wrong holes.
There's so much plot and romantasy. Not in this one. She does a great job balancing it beautifully, I feel.
Oh, yeah.
But lots of good tension building. But yeah, sometimes romantasy is not always the vibe. This is the vibe.
This is the vibe.
This is the intersection of all our favorite worlds.
I want more books like this. It's like...
Oh, there will be a sequel.
Oh,
you heard the end. Yes, I was like, oh, this is for the next book. Excellent.
Yes. For someone who loved Twilight as a teen, this is exactly what I want in my adult reading.
For Twilight babies, this is important, actually.
If you were / are a Twilight girly, you've got to read this book.
It's
exactly what you want it to be.
Did I ever tell you? No. I didn't walk down the aisle to this. What's that?
Beat fast, colors and
2015.
Yes.
No, my bridesmaids walked down to that.
So
I think everyone's did.
Yeah,
but I was not a Twilight girly.
My mom tried to convince me to walk down the aisle to that song.
Stop.
Yeah.
What did you walk down the aisle to?
Ed Sheeran,
when we were children.
Thinking of You.
Cute. Yeah. That was big then. I wanted that to be our first dance. Ours was a Ben Rector song. What was it? I can't think of it. What was yours?
Gone Fishing in the Dark.
Then we did dance to that. Oh my god. Okay, listeners, briefly, when Jay and I first met, we were children. We were children actually, but long story short, we met at this retreat outdoors, and he was walking around and he was whistling, and he was whistling a song, and we had just introduced, just met. I said, "Is that Fishing in the Dark by Nitty Gritty Dirt Band?" He lit up. From that moment on,
it was true
forever.
Love. True love.
Inseparable ever since. But yes, no, that was not. Anyway, the point is, your mom wanted you to walk down the aisle.
Yeah, because it was big then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if I could go back in time, I definitely would pick something Taylor Swift, obviously.
I know, the timelessness of it all.
Yes. But we danced to Jason Mraz, I Won't Give Up.
Cute.
Which is very much of the times. We got married in the 2010s.
I know. God, I'm trying to remember what the first dance was. But yeah, it was something popular. Yeah, very cute. But yeah, Twilight has a chokehold on us. And so this is very much in keeping. We've got some real vampire shit going.
Oh, it's vampire shit. It's werewolf shit. Oh, everything you want.
All right. I would love to read this to the listeners. I'm going to read the little synopsis on Goodreads, and then I'll read our review, which, LOL, you posted half awake last night, which brings me a lot of joy.
Yes, 11 p.m. last night.
Which is actually the middle of your night.
Yes.
That is for Katie time. Allie Hazelwood, the cover is just so good.
It's so good.
And that's the jumpsuit. Oh,
I want to pick up a physical copy of it because it looks like it might be like a little iridescent. Because when you look at it, her name like fades in and out. I want to see what it looks like, not Kindle version.
Yeah, we got to look it up. Or go find one, go buy one. It came out 5 minutes ago. 3-4 days ago.
February 6th. We're recording on the 10th, and this won't be out till the 24th. But yeah, it came out 4 days ago.
And it has 4.29 stars, 13,000 ratings.
People have bought it and we're like, yeah, we're going to read this
almost
right now.
4,000 reviews. Okay, yeah, and because Allie Hazelwood already has a huge following, rightfully so. This is the Goodreads synopsis. A dangerous alliance between a vampire brat. I didn't realize the vampire was spelled like that. I listened to the audio version.
It's vampire with a Y.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
Between a vampire bride and an alpha werewolf becomes a love deep enough to sink your teeth into this new paranormal romance. That does happen. Misery Lark, the only daughter of the most powerful vampire councilman of the Southwest, is an outcast. Her days of living in anonymity among the humans are over. She has been called upon to uphold a historic peacekeeping alliance between the vampires and their mortal enemies, the Weirs. And she sees little choice but to surrender herself in the exchange. Again. Weirs are ruthless and unpredictable, and their alpha, Lo Moreland, is no exception. Resand.
Yeah.
Like,
Zayden Ryerson.
I got immediately. I was like, oh, this is...
A Zayden Ryerson.
This is a burden of responsibility.
Yeah,
okay, we got it. Leader. Hot. It's clear from the way he tracks Misery's every movement that he doesn't trust her. If only he knew how right he was. Because Misery has her own reasons to agree to this marriage of convenience. Reasons that have nothing to do with politics or alliances and everything to do with the only thing she's ever cared about. That made me cry many times.
Oh my gosh. I cried real tears.
Yeah, we're going to have so many spoilers in here, y'all. So we will give away the entire plot of this book.
Yes.
And she is willing to do whatever it takes to get back what's hers, even if it means a life alone in weird territory. Alone with the wolf.
Alone with the wolf.
What could possibly happen from here? I don't know. It was like immediately clear.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Like during the wedding, I was like, I know exactly what's happening right now.
Yeah, like, oh, he's repulsed by my smell. No, that's him restraining himself.
Yes.
Honey.
It's so very clear to me, actually.
We are all, it's abundantly clear to all. Okay, that is a little synopsis that gives nothing away on the on Goodreads. This is my review. It says your review.
My review, yes.
It's Katie Bird's review. Allie Hazelwood debuts her first four-way in... Four-way. Hey, that's not in this book, but maybe one day. Do you think she'd do it?
She could.
Could she do a two big dick trope? 3 dicks that are too big?
I believe in Allie.
I believe she could do it. Anything's possible. Allie Hazelwood debuts her first foray into the romantasy realm with this bombshell of a book. Okay. First of all, in this sentence, Katie Bird, at 11 p.m., you have alliterated 3 times. Thrice in alliteration. First foray, romantasy realm, and bombshell of a book.
Well,
great work.
Thank you.
Why were you not an English major?
I considered it for a long time. I took many creative writing classes in college.
That is beautiful. Great work.
Thank you.
We need to get you on your fan fiction game.
Oh my God.
Can you write a Taylor Travis?
I would love to.
I know. So I saw a tweet today that was comparing them. We're just saying they're American royals.
Yes, yeah. The closest thing we have to royalty.
They really are. Football star and a pop star.
It's great. It's very American.
USA.
Deeply American.
I'm so sorry for our international listeners. We're the worst. We get it.
We get it.
We are fully aware.
We truly don't like it here that much.
We are trying to be the change we want to see.
Yeah.
As a reformed twihard,
Yeah.
As a reformed twihard, no, you're still a twihard.
Yeah, I still dabble.
As a reformed twihard, this book scratched an itch I didn't even know I had been harboring since I was a teenage girl reading under the covers, hoping I would one day have a love as tragic as this.
Yeah, you want tragic love as a teen.
Yeah, you want
someone who was just willing to die for you, just for your safety, you know.
Yeah, you want the ultimate love, and I think that's what's going down here. Allie Hazelwood's Bride drops you into a fantastical world where humans, wares, and vampires have a volatile at best relation where interspecies murder is the rule, not the exception. In just over 400 pages, you are immersed into a story that perfectly blends political intrigue, moderate action, and dirty, filthy spice.
Dirty fucking, filthy fucking.
It really, political intrigue, moderate action, and dirty, filthy spice. Yes, that's the subtitle. Misery, our female main character, is forced to marry the new alpha of the rival were pack. Oops. Angel emoji. Whoops.
Oopsie.
As a result of her father's dastardly political scheming, Misery, yes, her name is Misery.
Her name is Misery.
Her name is Misery because her birth killed her mother, and they named her Misery.
It's a wonder she's not fucked up.
It's not okay. Yeah, I think she's worked through a lot.
She's really well adjusted for someone who's named Misery.
Truly, her resilience knows no bounds. Misery, having felt like Misery, just such a great name. Misery, having felt like an outcast for the majority of her life, navigates the strange feeling of finding a home among a group of people so distinctly different from herself. She often finds herself charmed by our MMC's little sister, Liliana, and caught up in these new rushes of feelings anytime she interacts with Alpha Low Moreland. It just confuses her so much.
It's like, I don't understand what I'm feeling right now. The vampires don't do feelings.
The virgin trope was alive and well.
Yes.
I'm not complaining.
I surely am not.
It works for a reason, folks. The more time she spends with Lo, the more it seems he can't seem to stay away from the vampire girl forced to be his wife. That was really terrible for him.
I hated that.
He really wanted to be with his mate.
Really, yeah, his mate.
Just, this book was on the nose.
I was like, bitch, come on.
Misery just could never imagine a man loving her. Dumb. Yeah, there were a few times I'm like, oh my god.
You big dumb.
Big dumb girly. Now we are all connoisseurs of smut here, so we know a forced marriage to a seemingly disinterested alpha male can only mean one thing. It's going to get real hot real fast. And that is mostly true in this book. It may technically qualify as a slow burn, but boy, did it go fast. True, this is definitely a slow burn.
It's a slow burn. I think it's like 200-ish pages. Well, it's very interesting in the way that the smut is layered because we get like 2 orgasms before we even get a kiss.
Wild.
It's wild.
Yeah, they spread it out really. I mean, as we've said before, Allie Hazelwood has studied female arousal.
Yes, she understands.
She's familiar with the build of it all. Allie Hazelwood has truly outdone herself. She has found the perfect formula for blending wholly developed characters. Yes, these were full people. Unpredictable plot, and the smuttiest smut we could ever ask for. Lo Moreland is an MMC we die for. Unable to control himself around Misery. Never quite strong enough to stay away, and just enough touch her and die energy to make him the perfect alpha daddy. If you love Allie's writing and are just as desperate for something so shockingly filthy, you won't believe the words you're reading on the page, this book is for you. Allie, we raise our glasses to you. You are smut overlord. Thank you for this gift to humanity. Truly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I highlighted a lot of the smut in here because it's incredible.
It's just beautiful.
But there are like some things where I was like, I can't believe what I'm fucking reading right now.
It was graphic. And I think...
I loved every minute.
But I think why I adored it. I think why it feels more, because I'm like, is this really the dirtiest stuff that I've read? And I'm thinking of the other stuff I've read. Here is why it is dirty, objectively.
Oh, for sure.
We have read a lot, but also compared to her plot and like her characters and her like what she's right. It's not that it stands out. It's just that like I don't know how to explain this. There are some books, I can't think of an example, but it's just like poorly written, but then the smut is dirty.
Right.
And it's like, oh, okay, well, the point of this book is the smut.
Yes.
This sex scene is the point of this book.
It's like porn where the storyline's like it's there, I guess.
Yes.
But we're not here for the story.
So then it's not a surprise whenever the smut is dirty, because it's like, oh, this is what this writer is good at. This is the point of this book, blah, blah, blah. But this is
no shade to those books. Well, we read those too.
We definitely consume those books.
Yeah.
And so but I'm not surprised when it gets to something really dirty. I'm like, well, finally, this is what I'm here for.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it kind of like spins me around, because I was interested in this plot. I was actually listening to the story.
Yes, I'm invested in the plot and I'm invested in the characters.
I care about these characters and what they're doing.
And it's not like the plot's predictable, but you know enough about romantasy to know like what might happen, and it's like, oh, I know what's going on here, and I can't wait for it to actually come to fruition like later on in this book.
Yes, and so then when it comes to fruition, well, the plot and the smut is the plot. Like, it's in the plot.
Yes.
It's just so wild. Like, that is what makes her very graphic smut feel even better.
Yes.
I love the way that she writes.
Yeah, and it's one of those books that, like, I felt like I was just smiling the whole time I was reading it. And unless I was crying, because I was invested in these characters.
It's so beautiful. Yeah.
The third act breakup ripped my heart out.
I know. I did a devastate.
I know. Tears were on my face. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it hurt my heart.
It hurt.
I was like, oh no, the burden of responsibility is too heavy. Yeah, it was, I mean, wow. I felt real feelings. I listened all day. My ADHD babies will understand. On Fridays, I like get my life together. And so I put this in and listened to like the second half of it. And it kept me on track all day. Like, I just listened all day.
It just, yeah.
And
nonstop.
I was able to like organize all my bookshelves, declutter my closet, do a whole bunch of laundry. Because like, if I'm listening, I want to go do something. Mm-hmm. And so it helps me get shit done.
Yeah.
And I was just, it's
perfect.
I was so happy. So happy. But yes, Katie Bear's got some notes.
That's right. We've got notes. We'll dive in. And then at the end, we usually give our review or ranking of the characters in the smut. All right. So we'll jump in. So page one.
On the first page.
Yeah. So I love the way this book is set up. It's all from Misery's perspective, except every chapter we get a blurb of something from Lo's perspective, or I guess a third person omniscient kind of perspective. But
and in the audio, it's done. There's a male actor who
is it hot?
Yeah. But it's like a little. Yes, I loved this perspective switch. So it's not that he has whole chapters. It's just that he does at the beginning of every chapter. It's from his perspective.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's so good. So his little blurb at the very first page of the book: this marriage is going to be a problem. She is going to be a problem. And I just wrote smiley face.
Smiley.
Fucking insolent woman.
She's a fucking insolent woman.
Yes.
Yes. Well, so we know straight out the gate that he's into her. We know from romantasy and smut in general that it's a he falls first trope. Like, we already know that. But then for it to be the first words of, no, he's into her.
Oh, it's clear.
Like,
you vex me.
I knew trouble. Yes, you vexed me. I knew you were trouble when you walked in.
I knew you were trouble.
Yes, like, so.
Why do you smell like that?
Yeah. And she's like, I'm just repulsive. And I'm like,
I'm so sorry. Let me take a bath for 3 hours.
Okay. I'll join you.
Yeah. Oh, man.
We'll get there.
All right. Page 8. So the first chapter is sort of you get dropped into their wedding, and then it gets kind of explained later on in the book about why they are getting married.
Yes,
so
this was it. Well, the title of the book is Bride.
Yeah. So it's kind of this. I feel like this was Allie's take on like a non-toxic mafia kind of romance.
Yes. Oh, that's a good point. It is giving mafia.
That's kind of what it felt like the whole time. It's like this is. I mean, it's non-toxic because there's no like non-consensual anything happening. She willingly agrees to marry him and all the things.
Yes, she is a grown woman.
So if you like a mafia romance, this is similar to that vibe.
Yeah, good point.
A lot of political intrigue in this book.
But like actually interesting political intrigue.
Yeah, interesting political intrigue for sure. Page 8. I can't get a good look at his face, but I know what to expect from the picture I was given weeks ago. Handsome, striking, unsmiling. His hair is short, a rich brown cut to a buzz. His suit is black, well fitted across his broad shoulders. He's the only man in the room not wearing a tie, and yet he manages to look elegant anyway.
This is
a clean-cut alpha werewolf.
Yes, this is a clean-cut alpha werewolf.
You rang?
Yeah.
Hello,
like,
I'm here.
Hi. This is, I mean, it's a little Travis Kelce energy.
It's giving some Travis Kelce with his.
Climb you like a tree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big, giant man with giant dick.
Yes. We saw this coming.
It's Allie. We know what we're getting.
Yes.
Same page. I snort out a laugh, and that's a mistake because my future husband hears it and finally turns to me. My stomach drops. My step falters. The murmur's quiet. In the photo I was shown, the groom's eyes looked an ordinary, unsurprising blue, but as they meet mine, I realized two things. The first is that I was wrong, and his gaze is actually an odd pale green that borders on white. The second is that father was right. This man is very, very dangerous. It's Zayden fucking Ryerson.
Yes, this is Zayden Ryerson.
Stay away from Zayden.
Yeah, this is... There's just something so hot about that kind of like, I don't know if I should go nearer, but like I can't look away.
But something about it. The dangerous aspect of it.
And it's the bad boy. Like that is, the girlies get it. We get it. We love it.
I love this book.
You're giggling at your own notes.
That's right. I'm giggling at Allie's writing.
At the excerpt?
Yes. Page 9. My heel catches on a cobblestone and I lose my balance. The groom stops my fall with an arm snaked around my waist. A combination of gravity and his sheer determination wedges me between him and the altar, his front pressing against mine. This is page 9, you all.
Yeah.
He cages me, pins me, and stares down at me like he forgot where he is and I'm something to be consumed, like I'm prey. This is highly, oh my. The officiant gasps when the groom growls in his direction. Behind me, I hear the tongue. The tongue is what the vampires speak. An English panic, screams, chaos, and the best man and my father snarling, people yelling threats, someone sobbing, another Aster in the making, I think. And I really should do something. I will do something to stop it. But the groom's scent hits my nostrils. Everything recedes. Good blood. My hind brain hisses, nonsensical. He'd make for such good blood.
Good blood.
Good blood. He inhales several times in rapid succession, filling his lungs, pulling me in. His hand moves up from my arm to the dip of my throat, pressing into one of my markings. A guttural sound rises from someplace low in his chest, making my knees weak. Then he opens his mouth, and I know he's going to tear me to pieces. He's going to maul me. He's going to devour me. Oops. You, he says, his voice deep, almost too low to hear. How the fuck do you smell like this? Page 9.
On the altar.
In front of everybody.
They did. They couldn't even see photos of one another before this because this is a political marriage. Yeah. And then just that kind of chemistry. Oops.
So, I mean...
Forced marriage.
Yeah.
Consensual forced marriage.
Yes. And for those of us who have read Romantasy before, we're familiar with how mates work. Like, for me, I was like, oh, he loves her immediately.
Like, this kind of magnetic attraction, it's almost like, well, I mean, it's a soulmates trope, but it's a...
Oh, for sure.
It's a, like, love at first sight thing, too, because it's just... They're mates. That's how it works.
Yes.
Like that kind of magnetic connection.
Yeah. So like at the very beginning of the book, I'm like, oh, okay. So they're mates or like there's something happening here, some kind of connection. But of course she's like, he thinks I stink. He doesn't like me. How could he possibly like
dialogue.
me? I have long blonde hair and my ears are pointy.
Yeah. Just like it was cute and relatable, but it was also like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it's super relatable because, like, I think in the same situation, I'd be like, wait, really?
Why are you looking at me? Yeah, like, what is wrong with me? Do I have something in my face?
Yeah,
it's like,
but, like,
no.
being on the outside, I'm like, come on.
Yeah, exactly. We're
you know what's happening here.
But, yeah, she is like, I smell horrible to him. Yeah, that's exactly what he was saying.
Yeah. How the fuck do you smell like this? He was just completely shocked because he's a werewolf. She's a vampire.
Yeah, he was just taken aback.
Yeah.
Not utterly aroused.
Page 13. Other people's approval is a powerful drug. Lucky me, I never got the chance to develop an addiction. If there's something I'm good at, it's rationalizing my peers' contempt towards me. I've been training like piano prodigies, tirelessly since early childhood.
Yes.
Do you know how much easier life would be if I didn't yearn for other people's approval? I have a fucking podcast.
Love me. No, it is. That struck me early on. It's just that she really did not.
She didn't give a fuck what anybody else thought. Not her dad.
Yeah.
Like her brother. She's like, I'm just here.
And they get into it later in the book, but she was, which was just heartbreaking, but she was given as collateral, a vampire collateral to the humans, not to the wares, right?
Yeah, so as a child, her father sent her off as collateral to the humans to ensure like peace between the two,
which is terrible.
And so she grew up
non-consensual because she was a child.
Yeah, she was a child. So she grew up among humans, didn't actually even learn vampire culture. So even when she goes back home with the vampire, she's like, I have no idea what's going on here.
Exactly. Yeah. It's so she's never. Which also though we've got, when we think of Allie Hazelwood's other female main characters, a lot of them really did want approval and didn't know their own minds. And this was a refreshingly different female lead.
Yeah, I really enjoyed her. And I enjoyed, like, the girlies of it all. Like, the whole reason, I mean, y'all know this is spoilers forever, but the whole reason she even agreed to the marriage was because of her friend Serena. Her friend Serena disappeared, and the only thing she left behind was a note with the initials L.E. and then Moreland, so Lo's last name. Yeah. And so when she learned that it was him that she was going to have to marry, she was like, well, because I got to find my friend. She disappeared.
That scene was really fun.
Yeah.
Because
with the cat.
she's like, absolutely the fuck no. I'm not gonna. Oh, with the cat with the note. Yeah, yes. That was fun. But when the horrible dad was like, oh, you've got to go do this.
So cold. Just like, you are going to marry this man. And
yeah.
She's like, fuck you. I literally will not.
Yeah, fuck you. And it was just like this whole like, absolutely not. And I'm like, well, then how do we get around to her marrying? Because we already know. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, he said what his name was.
Yeah, he was like Lo Moreland, the new alpha. And she's
said,
like,
what did you say?
Then I guess I'm getting married.
Yeah, I guess I have to marry him. Mm-hmm. And we find out then that's the storytelling. Gorgeous storytelling.
It's beautiful story. Like the way that she layers the plot is so good.
She layered it in a way that was like, it kept me really engaged and really interested in like, wait, what? And so, yeah, her love of Serena.
I know. And I love the little kitty cat through line of, she calls the cat Serena's damn fucking cat.
Serena's damn fucking cat.
The cat's not named as Sparkles. His name is Serena's damn fucking cat.
Yeah. Yeah. Capital S, capital D, capital F, capital C. Yeah. Yeah. And why should a vampire love a cat?
I mean, pets don't like vampires, apparently.
They're sleeping in closets.
Yeah.
They're doing their best.
That was honestly,
that was a great repeated storyline.
I was reading that and I'm like, honestly, same.
I just curled up by a fridge,
dark hole,
asleep in a dark closet. Like, sounds comfy, actually.
I know. And the little sister Anna was like, "Why do you sleep in there?" She's like, "'Cause I'm a vampire." Like, what a stupid question to ask me.
Because the sun is out and there's no window in here.
Yeah,
I'm a vampire.
I'm sleeping on the floor in the closet.
It was so cute.
So good.
She was so lovable early on.
Yes.
Strong.
And like, just like effortlessly funny.
Yes.
I think unintentionally funny.
Misery is living in the human realm.
Yes, as a vampire in STEM. She just coding in the dark.
I texted you. I was like, "This is a vampire in STEM." Because women in STEM is Allie's whole thing, and she codes. It's so fun.
In the middle of the night, just coding away.
Just coding. It's so cute.
It's so cute. Okay, page 46. So this is Lo talking. Your father, I need to know if he hates you.
Yeah.
I meet Moreland's eyes, more baffled than offended, and perhaps a little peeved that I cannot insist that my one living parent gives a shit about me. Why? If you're going to be under my protection, I need to know these things. I cock my head up at him. His face is so not handsome, even though it is, but striking, all-consuming, like he invented bone structure.
I loved that. Yes.
Am I under your protection? You're my wife. I just wrote, starts panting aggressively. Anytime he says, my wife, I was like, I'm going to throw up right now.
I am the most feminist, independent fucking woman.
Check your feminism at the door.
All damn day. Streets and y'all.
Fucking sheets.
There's a streets and sheets paradigm we reference frequently here on the Smut Club, and there's some things that in the streets are a no.
Yeah, I'm not somebody's wife in the streets.
No. I mean, like I am. But no, I'm not somebody's wife in the streets. You respect me as a woman.
That's
damn
right.
it.
I'm a person.
It doesn't matter. I am a woman in my own right. But Streets and Sheets paradigm. In the sheets, in my smut, give me a little. That's my wife.
That's my fucking wife. It's so hot, and it happens several times in the book where
it's like, I'm gonna protect you.
She's my wife.
Get off. She's my. Yeah, there was one time where she thought that she was going to be dismissed from the room or something. He's like, no, I'm talking
to everyone else. Actually,
this is my wife.
He like says, you're dismissed, and she's like, oh my god, sorry, and everyone else leaves the room, and he starts walking toward her, and she's like, oh, he was not dismissing me, he was dismissing them.
Check your feminism at the door, folks.
So long, farewell.
It's just so hot.
It's so hot.
It's so. Smut gives you the opportunity to have different values. It's so great.
It's a fantasy world.
Yes, that's why it's fun, and it's not cluttered with the realities of real world life.
Yes, and it's also he deeply respects her. Like, on a fundamental level, like, deeply respects her.
It's not, like, Tamlin possessive.
No.
That should be noted. It's not, like, a weird, controlling possessive. It's protective.
It's hot.
Because people are trying to kill her.
Mm-hmm. His wife.
This is the Alpha's wife. Leave her alone.
So, they're at the wedding reception, and it's a tense wedding reception because it's vampires and werewolves all in the same room together with human waiters for some reason.
Humans.
Just humans waiting on them.
Sure.
And then everything happens much too quickly. The glint of steel in the corner of my eye, an unfamiliar rage-filled voice yelling, "You vampire bitch!" Hundreds of gasps, a sharp blade making its way toward my throat, my jugular, and the knife stops a hairbreadth from my skin. I don't remember closing my eyes, but when I open them, my brain cannot seem to catch up. Someone, a human, dressed as a waiter, came at me with a knife. I did not notice him. The guards did not notice him. My husband, on the other hand, Lo Moreland's palm is wrapped around the blade, less than an inch from my neck. Green blood trickles down his forearm, its rich scent crashing into me like a wave. There's no sign of pain in his eyes as they hold mine. He just saved my life.
They just met.
They just met.
They just got married.
That was his wife.
Yeah. He was like, no, I'll take care of that.
I will put my hand on a blade.
Yeah.
And push it away from your throat. Just more aggressive panting, really, from me.
Yeah, that's the only response to that. Page
50, I'm like, I did not want to stop reading this book.
That's smut.
It's fucking smut. From the beginning, page 9, I was like, I'm reading smut right now.
Yeah, and it should be noted, some slow burns, it's frustrating. Like, there's not enough. Like, this is a fun kind of slow burn.
I would love for Allie to teach, like, a master class on, like, developing tension and smut by making it, and still making it hot the whole time without even having, like, the dirty, filthy smut that comes later.
Yeah. It's so... Because I've read it done poorly. We know, like, this is so good because we know what's bad. That's a profound statement. But
we know it's good because we know what's bad.
We know what's bad. We know what's frustrating, and this is not.
Yeah, this book is not frustrating at all, actually. It's great. Okay, page 56. During our 15-year friendship, I amassed 500,000 small, big, and mid-sized reasons to love Serena Paris with the intensity of the brightest stars. Then, a few weeks ago, one came to obliterate all of them, driving me to loathe her with the strengths of 1,000 full moons. Her damn fucking cat.
Her damn fucking cat.
Her damn fucking cat.
Like Jay, a couple years ago, I would get frustrated about planning family things for the holidays. And so he started calling them the shit damn holidays.
The shit damn holidays.
So this is a similar use of profanity. A damn fucking cat.
The damn fucking cat.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I personally enjoy cats. So any cat folks out there. Katie Bird also enjoys cats.
I would not say I enjoy cats. I respect cats.
You respect cats.
I like other people's cats. I just have been so connected to dogs my whole life.
You're so allergic to cats.
I'm very allergic to cats, so I don't ever feel good when I'm around cats.
I think that is the most valid reason to not want to be around an animal ever. You walk in my home and immediately start sneezing. It's very cute. Yeah. What is it like? What are pet allergies like?
Yes, I mean, I've just had dogs my whole life, and so never really interacted with a cat until I realized I was allergic to them. So
my fat orange cat.
The fat orange cat.
Damn fucking cat.
The damn fucking cat. Page 82. His eyes close briefly and he grits out, I doubt there are any expectations of virginity on your part. Fantastic. I love surprising people. I see the confusion in his parted lips before he subdues it and shifts back to his default austere expression. It's amusing to me, the idea that someone who has skimmed a synopsis of my life would assume that I've had any sort of romantic entanglement. With whom? A vampire who would only see me as a traitor? A human who would see me as a monster? The birth control shot I was given before coming here was a joke, not just because Lo and I are as likely to have sex as we are to start a podcast together, but also because he's aware and I'm a vampire and we couldn't reproduce even if we wanted to.
Couldn't possibly.
This is foreplay shadowing, first of all.
Yeah.
It is a virgin trope, though not a very descriptive virgin trope.
Yeah,
they didn't really make a big deal about it later on.
Well, and I think also because this was definitely her first werewolf. This was her first. There's
some anatomy stuff that we'll get into later.
There's some descriptive anatomy things that we will unpack. But yeah, this was... I did love kind of his little dumbfounded expression there of just how could you not have had sex with someone? How could no one
have sex with you? You perfect creature.
You're the every dream come true.
Literally.
I'm in love with you the moment I see you.
Some people don't like virgin tropes. I don't mind them. I actually kind of like them, but it's because that was me. It's so relatable.
Yeah.
It's I don't know what the fuck's happening right now.
It's fun. I think Streets and Sheets.
I love the teach me aspect of it.
Yes. I don't hate a virgin trope. I don't love it. I think for this plot, it makes so much sense.
Oh, for sure.
For this plot, it's well, yeah, she wouldn't have been and it's not overemphasized. It's just oh, yeah,
there was just no opportunity because she didn't grow up with vampires, and then she lived with humans, and humans either avoided her or she avoided them because she's a nocturnal, so she's working a night shift.
But I think we were primed straight out the gate because this is an Allie Hazelwood book, and Allie Hazelwood, they're not all virgins, but they don't love sex.
Yeah.
There's a lot of demisexuality.
Demisexual stuff happening. And so, common that, they don't have a lot of experience.
Yeah, that they've never, this is, sex. What? Never wanted to have sex before?
Yeah. I've never been attracted to a man.
It's a choice. That I have appreciated. It's a virgin trope, not of nobody's ever loved me. It's I
just haven't been interested, honestly.
I've not been interested. So this is another kind of a demisexuality.
Yeah. I mean, vampires, experience feelings differently.
Yes.
And so all the feelings that she has, she's I've never felt this before.
Yeah.
We're very what is it? They do what's good of the most.
What is it? I'm sure it'll come up. But yeah, do what's best for the greatest number of people, which some people anyway,
it's not a bad way to think, but
it can get really toxic.
It's dicey when you're giving your daughter over to collateral.
Yeah, it's a similar any viewpoint can get really toxic after kind of doing things for God's glory. You can start using that as a catch-all for a lot of...
For harming everybody you've ever known.
Exactly. And so that is exactly what he does here, is the father uses it as a terrible thing. But yes, vampires are supposed to not have a committed relationship because it's so infrequent that they're able to procreate in the first place. And so having multiple sexual partners is encouraged
they're
among
trying
vampires.
To spread the seed and all the things. My note here says, someone call my therapist.
Where? No, for what?
On this page. So it's to be noted that I did love this book so much, so most of my notes are paragraphs that I've highlighted.
I think the dramatic readings are necessary.
Yes.
I think it's important.
Page 83. For as long as you live in Weird territory, you are under my protection and under my authority. I let out a silent, breathy laugh. What are your orders for me then? That is flirting. I mean...
Yeah, she knows exactly what she's doing.
That is flirting. Come on.
This is the High Lord. This is every romantic trope.
It's the sexting with the notes going back and forth with the High Lord.
So good.
He takes one step closer, and the tension in the room instantly changes, shifting to something tighter, more dangerous. Fear stabs my stomach that maybe I push too much. That's why Aware is bending over me to remind me how insignificant I am and say, I need you to behave, misery.
You vex me.
You vex me.
That's exactly what he's saying.
His voice is hard in all consonants and narrow eyes, and a shiver runs up my spine, cold and electric. My mind jumps back to Alex's words. Even his scent was right. Everyone knew that he had the making of an alpha. I'm nowhere And if I inhale, all I can smell is clean sweat and strong blood, but I think I know what he meant. Somehow I feel it, the compulsion to nod, agree, to do what as Lo wants. I have to actively stop myself and shiver in the process. Oh my God.
Someone call my therapist.
I wrote my mouth is watering, someone call my therapist. Like,
yeah.
I don't, streets and sheets. Alpha male,
exactly.
Alpha male like culture is so horrible and toxic and disgusting, and I don't ever want to talk to a man that identifies as an alpha
in any way
ever.
Alpha werewolf. All day long.
I'm interested in that specifically. Yeah, it's always been my belief that if you have to say that you're an alpha, you're fucking not.
Remember that tweet, the alpha male? Yeah. If you have to call yourself an alpha male, then you're not. I love the little profile pictures next to alpha males.
Yeah. And it's like, oh. Things become clear.
It's interesting to me. As a woman on the receiving end of the patriarchy, I like to kind of fuck with an alpha male.
That's right.
It actually brings me a lot of joy. But in this situation, Streets and Sheets.
So fucking hot.
It's... Whew.
I like when I'm reading this book, he is just massive in my head. Just a giant presence.
And she's a small girl.
Small vampire girl with pointy ears like an elf.
Well, no, they say that she's almost 6 feet tall.
Oh, really?
Small compared to him, then.
This is a Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce. She's still a small girl.
Wild to see them side by side.
Yes.
Like if we put a little Sabrina Carpenter.
Sabrina Carpenter, 4'11".
So half the height of Travis.
Yes. Like Taylor, 5'11". So Sabrina, 4'11", an entire foot shorter than her. And Travis, who's like over a head taller than Taylor.
Yeah. Enormous.
Hot.
We love it.
Page 94. Wait, I call when I see Anna heading for the window. How about you go through the door? She doesn't even stop to say no. It would be more fun. You could stop by Lo's room on the way, I offer, because if this child dies, it's on me. Say hi. Hang out. He's not there. He's gone to deal with the lollipops. I trail after her. With the lollipops. Yes, there's no way he's dealing with... Wait, do you mean the loyals? Yes, the lollipops.
Yes.
This is Anna's energy.
Yes,
it's the lollipops.
This is Anna.
Anna and Anna.
Anna, exactly. Like the same person. This child, one of the funniest parts is when she was like so irritated at first by Liliana.
Yes.
She was just like, this child. 3, 7? I don't know.
3, 7. And she's like, this fucking kid. Get it away from me. I don't like kids.
Just then they're besties.
Yes.
Absolute besties. Liliana, this was also, I'm not anti this. I just don't gravitate towards single dad smut. This was a play on a little bit of a single dad smut because he was responsible in a hot way, in an attractive way. He was responsible for his... Is it his niece?
His sister.
Half-sister. Yes, half-sister. So that dynamic was adorable.
I thought that was really good. I thought it was really hot. I am not anti-single dad romance, though I don't often read them just because I don't find kids interrupting very hot, which is often something that happens in those smut books. But Anna is a wonderful character. She adds to the plot, and there's some plot stuff that happens later on where she is not even in the house anymore. So there's some of that's removed later on.
Exactly.
But I did find it very endearing.
It was
that
cute.
He's responsible for his little sister.
I mean, Mr. Darcy.
Yes.
Mr. Darcy himself. He started it all. He was responsible for Georgiana. It's hot, okay?
Hot.
We just like seeing you care for people.
Yes. A man who's competent enough to care for a child. Or a living thing at all.
A living thing, actually.
Yeah, keeping something alive.
Adequately sustaining life. It's hot. The bar is on the floor, actually.
It truly. Okay, chapter 7 on page 97. This is one of Lo's little blurbs at the front of the chapter. The scent is growing into more than just a problem. It invades, it swirls, it travels, it sticks to his nose, it concentrates sometimes. They rarely touch. When they did, her wrist accidentally brushed the front of his shirt, and he found himself tearing off the piece of the fabric where her smell was the most intense. He slipped it in his pocket and now carries it everywhere, even as he leaves to avoid her. Y'all.
That's normal. That's fine.
We know exactly what's fucking happening.
He's in love with her.
They're fucking mates.
We haven't even gotten into the discussion of her talking about his mate, quote unquote.
Yes. So she believes that he has sent his mate as collateral to the vampires, and that she's living over there.
And she references it
all the time.
And this came up in another Allie Hazelwood book where it's just like, oh, he couldn't possibly. In Love Theoretically,
yes,
I think
your girlfriend, the other like physicist or whatever.
Your girlfriend, obviously, she's so much more beautiful than I am, and then turns out she's into women, and that's not the situation at all. And it's like the denial that these female main characters are in.
And it turns out that it was a lie, they said, because they wanted to make sure that...
Oh, that was really a plot point.
Yes, so they had told the father that Gabby was his mate because he didn't have a family member to give up. And so they wanted to make sure that he was giving up someone he actually cared about. So they said that it was his mate. This is my mate.
Yeah. I'm giving up.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, okay. That was a political move.
They told her that, like, no, that's his mate that's going over there. And so the whole time she was like, oh, shit. Too. I'm keeping him from his mate. This has got to be horrible for him.
Yeah, but for her, she's like, "Oh, I don't care about my family," you know.
Yeah.
But no, he was not tormented actually. At all.
He was actually thriving.
He was actually doing just fine.
Just fine.
Carrying a little piece of fabric in his pocket that smells like her. What?
Come on! It's like it's the same thing, same as Love Theoretical, where he keeps the Polaroid in his nightstand.
He falls first.
Ah! Allie Hazelwood does it right every time.
It's so good. It's so good. And she's like, it's not, tropes are tropes for a reason. If you're reading anything romantasy, anything romance, anything smut, you're in it for the tropes. You enjoy a trope.
We love a trope.
We're not here for originality, but this is original.
Yes.
It's not predictable.
You can make tropes your own. And I mean, when I look for smut books, like I try to look for what tropes are listed because I know which ones I like. If it says enemies to lovers, I'm like, great, I know I'm going to like that. I'm going to enjoy that.
This is enemies to lovers. Forced captivity. Or forced proximity.
Forced proximity. He falls first. Soulmates.
There's some streets and sheets paradigm. That's our own trope. That's our own, like, oh, this.
That did something.
Alpha male.
Resand
of it all.
Yes.
Many incredible tropes going
on. So Misery is searching around his room, snooping, because she doesn't have any internet access, so she's looking for some way that she can access the internet. Poor girl, she just wants to code.
You can't keep her from her love of coding.
She just wants to get on the damn internet.
Just let her type some numbers and letters and shit.
Yeah, so she's snooping his room. Oh, and also she's trying to find Serena this whole time. So it says, like, I'm looking around his room looking for something, maybe a diary titled That Time I Abducted Serena Paris. His closet is martial in its orderliness. Every shirt, monochrome, every pair of pants neatly folded, always khakis or jeans.
Hot.
Folded pants. His closet.
Competent.
Yes. The sole exception is the suit he wore to the wedding. My husband, I discover, wears size 14 shoes.
Oops.
Interesting.
Interesting. All caps. Ooh. Interesting.
I know. Last night I was like trying to show my partner one of the notes that I written, and I was scrolling through, and he saw like interesting in all capital letters,
and he was like, "What is this in reference to?"
I see the word interesting, and I'm like, "Would you like me to show you?" He wears size 14 shoes.
This is women's smut. Ooh. What could it mean?
He just shook his head.
What could it indicate?
So it's also. This is a weird little plot point, but Lowe is also an architect. Randomly, he can draw, which is a hot trait for a man to have. But all I could think is Ted Mosby, architect.
Nope, didn't need that at all.
Sorry.
No, yeah, Ted Mosby is Ted Mopey.
Yeah,
but I loved like I think why she did that for lots of reasons. Hopefully, maybe it'll come up in the next book too. But however, she continues. But it gave him like a thing to have left. Like he had a life. Like he gave up this life to become the alpha.
Yes, because there was some bad shit going on with the other alpha.
Yes.
So a girl who snoops, a girlie just like me, really.
Truly.
I shut the sketch pad too forcefully and place it back where I found it. It causes something that was at the very end of the notebook to slip out. A portrait. My heart halts as I scramble to lift it up, expecting, no, sure, that I'll find Serena's smiling face on it, the pouty lips, the upturned eyes, narrow nose, and pointed chin. They're all so familiar to me that I think it must be her, because who else's face would I know so well? It can only be Serena's or mine. Come on!
It's mine.
He drew her.
That's the Polaroid in his bedside table.
It's the Polaroid in the bedside. Oh my gosh.
He's an artist.
Lo Moreland has drawn my face and stuffed it in the bottom of his bottom drawer.
Ah, it's so cute. He's in love.
Like one of his French girls.
Yes. Ah.
So hot.
It is hot. It is so tender. And she was baffled. Just baffled. She was like, he drew this, didn't he?
Yeah, I can't believe who would draw a photo of me? He must fucking hate me.
Okay.
Everything is so accurate and it looks so pretty in this picture.
I look so effervescent. Okay.
Yeah, page 109. Let's just read it. Something wet lands on the front of my tank top because Max spit on me.
Oh.
Ew, I guess disgusted. Same. Like just ew.
Ew.
But before I can, I don't know, spit back, Lo's hand presses against Max's chest and pins him to the couch. What the fuck did you just do? He grunts. Yes. She's a vampire. Lo's hand jerks up to clutch Max's jaw. Apologize to my wife. Banging my head on the wall.
Hot.
Apologize to my wife.
Might I reference the time a few weeks ago?
Yes.
When Jay, not to air my family's dirty laundry, but Jay said something similar. And
some light sharing.
It was fan-friggin-tastic. Just to hear him stand up for me and
that's my wife.
No, apologize and say I'm sorry and that you'll do better.
Yes.
Because that's my wife. Hot. It got him laid.
It got him laid.
It got him laid. We'll say it that way.
It's fucking hot.
Yeah. It's protective. And he doesn't even, Lo doesn't even, they've only just met.
They're not even really talking to each other that much.
Yeah, but he's it's his mate.
It's his mate.
Yeah, I gotta protect.
Page 130. Is Anna human? A collateral? He shakes his head and I'm flooded with relief. Okay, she's where? Then why? I stop because Lo shakes his head again. I know what vampires smell like, what their needs and limitations are, and Anna is not one of us, which leaves one single other possibility. No, I say. Lo says nothing. His knife clinks against the side of the plate and he crosses his arms on his chest. His expression remains anchored in a way that makes me utterly unhinged. It's not possible. No, not both. Why is he silent? Why is he not correcting me? Genetically, it's not... Is it? Apparently. So we learn Anna is half were, half human. So Anna and Lo share a mom, and Anna just has a human father. I wrote... So they can mate. Good to know.
Yeah, there's some more foreplay shadowing of... Oh, interspecies relationships are actually...
It's possible, baby.
On the table.
It's on the table. A really cutie little quirk that our vampire girly has is that, vampires don't eat food, they drink blood, but she likes one specific food.
Peanut butter.
She likes peanut butter.
She's so embarrassed.
And she loves it. She just wants to put her whole hand in the jar and just, shovel it into her mouth.
It's so cute.
It's really fucking cute. His lips twitch into the ghost of a smile. You're embarrassed. Of course.
He made her eat it.
Yeah, he was like, no, eat it for me right in front of me. Like you do. Can you eat that biscuit right now?
I do. I relish the chance to watch someone enjoy some gluten.
Yeah.
Because my body can't possibly digest it in any way, shape, or form. And I want to watch other people enjoy.
Yeah. She'll be like, we'll be at a restaurant. She's like, can you order the French toast so I can watch you eat that?
I've said that on more than one occasion, actually.
As her friend, it is my duty to do that.
Yeah, no, I need you to order maximum gluten. And
I'm going to watch you eat that biscuit.
Put some jam on there. Put some butter. I ate some gluten-free waffles this morning, and it just like pieces of cardboard.
Oh,
no,
there's
terrible.
some gluten-free stuff is good.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe not frozen gluten-free waffles.
Some gluten-free stuff is good. We just haven't had that much gluten-free stuff. Most of it's bad.
Well, you know.
Most of it's... Yes, but in a similar way, he wanted to watch
her eat that fucking peanut butter.
He wants to watch her do lots of things.
And you're embarrassed, and she says, well, yeah, because you're eating something you don't need to survive. And she says, yes. I'm like, what a girly thing to say. Like,
yeah.
I'm embarrassed to be eating this thing that I don't need to survive.
It's like, yeah, nail on the head.
Yeah.
Like, God forbid that women have any joy.
And like, he says, I eat for pleasure all the time. What would it be like?
It's a little bit of Nathaniel and Anastasia.
Yes.
Anastasia, the Stassi. Yeah. Healing our relationships with food.
Yes.
We love it.
It was a very subtle, like,
yeah,
little call out, and I really appreciated it.
Like, hey, it's good to eat
it's okay
food for pleasure. Yeah, that's great, actually.
Yeah, it's actually fun.
It's good for your body to just enjoy some good food.
Chapter 11, page 143. Some nights, when he's walking past her door, he has to whisper to himself, keep going. Or don't. Or don't. Yeah, knock, knock.
Well,
Hello.
their rooms adjoin, I think.
Yeah, they have it's like a Jack and Jill situation.
Mm-hmm. Incredible.
Love it. Page 140, the same page. I highlighted this just... Look, if you haven't figured out what my partner's name is by now, I don't give a fuck. Whatever. I just thought this was funny. Two things can be true at once. For instance, I like Alex because he's an intelligent, pleasant young man. And spending time together and watching him be terrified of me sparks joy.
Is A terrified of you?
Sometimes he is.
I know he's terrified of me, so he's certainly terrified of me. If he's like tangentially terrified of me when living with you full time, he's gonna be like, oh my god.
Yeah. Sometimes like I'll get like, yes, really high strung and like out of control, and his eyes get really wide, and he just will start backing away slowly.
I sent you that. Y'all, this is not evergreen. This will go out of style at some point. But the Nanoland TikToks.
Yes.
I sent you that one of where Mona is the little green puppet, and she's calling to the cat, "Allie, come out. I'll be quiet. And then the cat comes out. She goes, yeah! Just so filled with joy. And the caption was like, me when I've had a meltdown and my husband's trying to get me out of my lair.
Yes.
Just, the crazy eyes lasted too long and she crashed. Yeah! That's Jay 100%, the extrovert. He's like, please be normal and spend time with me. So...
You are crawling in the closet under a mound of blankets.
Yeah, literally. I do love a little burrow away moment.
Especially, like, I resemble a vampire when I'm hungover, where I will, like...
I just drive home when I'm hungover.
Just leave my house at 4 a.m. Yes.
I'm sick. Jay needs to take care of me.
I draw the curtains, blackout curtains.
Yeah.
I curl up in a ball with a blanket over my head with a bottle of water. And we'll hiss.
And just hiss.
Yeah.
Look, we get to have big feelings.
That's right.
We get to.
I get to lay in my closet under my mound of blankets.
Also, we provide support and care for other folks all fucking day.
It's really exhausting, actually.
We really do. And so every now and then, we have feelings ourselves.
Every now and then, I need to crouch behind a mini fridge where no one can see me.
Last night, what was it? I'm regularly a pain in the ass past 8 p.m., really, but which is also around the time my meds are crashing.
Oh, yes.
So that there's a real direct correlation there. The Venn diagram is, a circle. But anyway, I am suddenly incapable of doing anything for myself.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah. Crazy eyes, can't do anything for myself.
Wide eyes. Twitching.
I take responsibility for what belongs to me, and for what belongs to me, it is to communicate to Jay that I am no longer okay.
Yes.
And I need for him to care for me. That's a fun sidebar.
Anyway.
We're healthy. We're fine.
This is actually a scene after the peanut butter where she had laughed but covered her mouth when she laughed.
Her fangs.
Yes. And he's like, why do you do that? And
So
then
sweet.
he's like, please smile for me.
Show me your fangs.
Show me. I want you to see them.
If by this point you don't catch that he's into you, he wants
all
to behold you. He
yes.
wants to, yes.
I'm unsure how to initiate it. Snarling, pulling my upper lip back with my fingers like human dentists do in toothbrush commercials, biting into his hand for an applied demonstration. All seem impractical, so I simply smile. When the cold air hits my canines, my lizard brain screams at me that I'm caught, that I'm find out.
Aww.
I'm fine, actually. Lowe's pupils splay out. He studies my canines with his usual unalloyed attention, without recoiling or trying to eat me. Little by little, my smile shifts into something sincere. Meanwhile, he looks and looks and looks.
Aww.
Bewitched, body and soul.
Yes, he's bewitched.
He's bewitched.
Bewitched body and soul. And he's imagining those teeth doing what we find out later.
Oh, just... Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
He knows. He knows he's into it.
So, and many times we have conversations about what mates are like, and about Lowe's mate, that this doesn't exist.
She keeps
doesn't
on
exist.
asking about his mate.
Yes. And his burden of responsibility is that he just doesn't want to force himself on someone who maybe cannot reciprocate the same feelings as him.
Yeah. Which he never asked. So anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
He truly didn't ask for it. And so she says, well, it all sounds pretty fucking horrible because you can't control it. And he said, does it? And she says, it's a life sentence, no parole, just you and a cellmate who'll never know you exist. That's unrequited mates. Maybe. Lowe's shoulders tense and relax. Maybe there's something devastating about the incompleteness of it. But maybe just knowing that the other person is there, his throat bobs, that there might be some pleasure in that too. The satisfaction of knowing that something that beautiful exists. His lips open and close a few times as though he can only find the right words by shaping them first to himself. Maybe some things transcend reciprocity. Maybe not everything is about having. Allie.
That is the most unselfish.
Like,
beautiful. Because you would think, and she's saying, like, well, that would be terrible to have a mate not love you back.
Right.
And he's saying, well, like, the ball's in her court.
Yeah.
Like, it's not I can't make her love me, but I love her. Like, it was so beautiful.
Yeah. And, I think I probably highlighted later on where he talks about, like, how he would never force someone to be with him. And I think the inner tragic romantic in me is like, this is everything I've ever wanted.
The inner emo kid.
Yes.
The heartbreak of it all.
Like the unrequited love, and then him just willing to be like
tortured.
Tortured forever.
He is the tortured poets department.
Yes. In a hot way.
In a hot way, yes.
In a hot way.
In a non-shaming, non-blaming way. He's like, no, this belongs to me. It's just beautiful.
So, back to our espionage. So we are heading over to Emery, who we think is head of the Loyals. The people who are trying to the lollipops, who are trying to overthrow Lowe's, Alpha Rain. And before they can go meet with her, they have to make sure that she smells like his mate.
Yeah, it would be a dead giveaway if they weren't actually mates. Yeah.
So
this is necessary.
There's only
for the
one. There's
espionage.
only one way to make that happen.
And she was like, "Oh, this is a simple thing," and he was like,
"No."
So no, this is.
It's a process, actually.
This is going to break me.
And he asked multiple times, like,
so much consent.
Are you sure? Do I have your permission? Like, this is... You're going to understand why I need your permission very soon.
She didn't quite know what she was agreeing to, but she wasn't mad about it.
I would have agreed immediately. I don't care, whatever it is. I don't care. Throw me out of this plane right now.
Yeah, and it was all on the plane. Oh my God.
It's
so
hot. It starts with heat, drifting over me as he shifts closer, the faint, pleasant scent of his blood climbing into my nostrils. After that, his touch. First his hand on my jaw, holding me still, angling my head to the right, and then his nose, I think, nuzzling down the column of my throat, moving back and forth over the place where my blood flows the strongest. He inhales once, again, deeper, then travels back up, the scratch of his jaw tickling my flesh. Okay, he says in a low rumble. I nod. Yes, it's okay. More than okay, though. I wouldn't be able to qualify how or why. And I'm sorry stumbles out of my mouth. Sorry. The word vibrates through my skin. Because my knees are buckling, so I lock them. I still feel like I might lose my bearings, so I blindly reach up, find Lo's shoulder, grasp it for dear life.
It's important.
I know you don't like my scent. I fucking love your scent.
Glad we cleared that up.
So the baths did work. Oh. Shut up, misery.
Shut up, misery. Exactly. Just shut up, honey.
This is so... I'm
this
wondering,
is smut.
This is smut, obviously. I don't know. Oh, I for sure have highlighted all of it.
Good. Yeah, that's an entire page of highlight.
Yes. But I'm wondering if Allie is an OG Twilight girly, because there's a scene
really
in the first Twilight book that's a little different with Edward and Bella, because Bella's blood smells so good to him that he's like, his first instinct was like, I'm going to kill her. I'm going to drink her blood because it smells so good.
Oh.
And then he falls in love with her and he's, well, I can't kill her. And so he trains himself to get used to the feeling of like wanting to like suck her blood. And so what they do is in the meadow, he has her sit very still and he leans in and like runs his nose down her neck.
I see the appeal.
Yes. It's so hot.
I think I'm getting it.
And like, reading this as a teen, I was like, holy shit.
Holy shit.
And so this scene is exactly like that, with like rubbing the neck.
Well, I mean, it's vampire smut. Like, she's got to be familiar with the canon work of Twilight.
Screaming, crying, throwing up.
Okay.
Is this as weird for you as it is for me? I ask, trying to make light of the flutters of pleasure in my stomach, because the thing spreading like spilled water below my navel, it's arousal, and it could explode into wildfire very fast.
Sure could.
Mm-hmm. It makes me think of blood and touching and maybe fucking, and as things are happening to my body, I'm terrified that he'll be able to smell me.
Yeah.
No, he growls. But it's not weird. Lo lifts his head from my neck, and I'm so close to begging him to come back and do it some more, but he's just switching sides, and I almost yelp in relief. This time, his palm cradles the entire back of my head, and for a few moments, he thumbs the tip of my ear, exhaling slowly, reverently, like my body is a precious, beautiful thing. It's perfect, he says. Then his mouth lowers again.
There's no actual sex here.
No, we're not even kissing,
We're
y'all.
not even kissing.
Like, maybe a little bit of like a light licking of her neck, but it's just like we're just rubbing.
This is smut. This is smut.
Yeah, and so the next section I've highlighted, I like there's this scene is several pages long, and we're not even kissing, and it's so hot
because you're getting it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you're getting the inner dialogue. You're getting like exactly. You can feel every rush of blood.
Yes,
because the description is so.
It's so detailed and so accurate.
She's got it down to a science.
Especially like having this is the first time anyone's ever touched her like this. Like that is how it feels. It's like
God.
Oh my God. Especially like. At least my neck is very sensitive.
Yes, seriously. And she's like coming alive. And it's wild. This is the first that she's experienced this. It's her duty. She's doing it for the espionage of it all.
That's right. I mean, she has to.
Such a sacrifice.
There's no other solution here.
No, there's no other possible way to make this work.
His hand closes on my shoulder, spinning me around till I'm facing away from him.
Oops.
My breath catches as I clasp the headrest for balance. They're on a plane, you all.
Oh my God. Like, that's a headboard. That's a hands on the headboard situation.
Yes, and it's giving Christian Grey. He freaking flew them in a plane.
Yep.
He flew.
Oops.
Competence forever.
She was something like, the wires are loaded.
Yeah. She's like, we got a freaking airplane. My husband's rich.
So apparently so. Yes, this is when she starts saying, oh, honey and sweetie,
yes.
because they're trying to
act
play
like
the role of being in love.
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
Okay, he asks, wrapping his fingers around the base of my throat. I say, yes, as fast as I can. Well, before the word is fully out of my mouth.
It sure is.
And he doesn't waste time either. He lifts away the heavy mass of hair, clutches my hips in his palm, and presses my body against his.
Unfucking real.
I know.
Clothes on.
And once he has me how he wants me, he bends down.
What?
His teeth close around the back of my neck hard this time, and I am flooded with a filthy, instant kind of pleasure.
Yeah.
This is porn. Like, I don't know.
This is pornographic.
I don't know how else to describe it. It's fucking porn, and it's so hot.
And it's like all private parts are covered and not involved. But this is one of the hottest scenes.
This is hot.
It
I
goes
was,
on
like,
for pages.
fanning myself like this is
I could not fathom.
no. And so this is why I said in my review that it doesn't really feel like a slow burn because like we get stuff like that throughout.
But we don't need a whole scene in order to, like, we don't need a full, like, penetrative sexual act in order to enjoy. Like, this is just
I am
magic.
enjoying it just as much.
Yeah, if not more than some sex scenes I've
Yeah,
read.
for sure.
Because this means something.
On the next page, they're trying to make sure that everything is it smells exactly the way it's supposed to smell.
It's important,
It's important.
They're thorough.
Is it better? His lips pressed together as though there is a flavor he wants to hold in his mouth a moment longer. Better? My smell. Do I smell like mine? It's a rumble in his throat. You smell like you're mine, Misery. Just throw my Kindle across the room.
Do I smell better? You smell like mine. What?
Come on!
Allie Hazelwood.
She knows exactly. She understands how to arouse a woman.
Yeah. She's
like the science of it all. It's there.
Yeah, it's so effortless too. It's not like contrived or weird. It's just let me mark you. So you smell like mine. Oops. On the plane. Okay. On my plane.
On my airplane that I flew here.
Yeah.
Page 193. Emery is petrifying, mostly because she looks really nice. I expected unhinged.
That's what people say about me.
Literally what I wrote. Is that what you wrote? Yeah. I expected an unhinged, rabid-looking,
she looks really nice.
Bloodthirsty
That's
greetings.
terrifying.
Unpredictability, threats of violence, but what I find is a sweet woman in her 50s wearing a hope, love, courage pin on her cardigan.
It's a fucking werewolf.
Literally me at work.
Yeah.
Like, hope, love, courage.
But you're actually...
And you come at me and
You're a nightmare dressed like a daydream.
Yes, exactly. Take a shot.
Yeah.
I actually will kill you if you cross me.
I will murder you. People are deceived by the sheer amount of pink in my world.
Yes.
But I bite.
Yes, I feel that way at work a lot because I am like the sunshine and butterflies of my office.
I rock a lot of polka dots.
Yes, I rock a lot. It's
the Jessica Day quote.
Yes, I'm a silly, goofy little critter. And that's how I am at work too because that's my personality.
I'm also filled with rage.
Yes, but I am filled with so much rage. And
for me, it's the Gemini of it all.
If you cross my students, I will fucking kill you.
Oh my god, it's the mama bear. Yeah.
Hope, love, courage.
Hope, love, courage. She's terrifying because she looks so nice, but she's not. We can take multitudes.
Oh, so there's a short little one bed trope at Emery's house, and we are once again back to having the conversation about mates. And apparently,
our naive little baby.
Yes, they're rare. Anna's even eating M&Ms.
Leave me alone. You brought many M&Ms.
I brought
the superior M&M.
It is a superior M&M. I think it's interesting because Misery is a STEMinist vampire. She's like just trying to gather information. She's like, just tell me
data.
Explain it to me. Like that's how I feel. Sometimes I'm like, explain it to me like I'm stupid. Tell me what it means. Yeah. Tell me what all the things.
God, I'm the opposite. I hate for people to teach me. It's terrible of me.
I know. Wait,
I love to learn, but I don't often have the attention span and patience for someone to teach me. But then when I actually need to learn, I do need someone to be very patient. So anyway, I can tell you multitudes.
A small side story, when we were prepping all of our stuff for our Swiftie Super Bowl party, we used a power tool to cut.
We did.
We're making giant friendship bracelets.
Garlands.
Yes. And
we have Knew He Was a Killer.
Knew He Was a Killer. TNT.
Yeah.
Chief of My Heart. Y'all know.
Y'all know exactly what we're doing.
So Jay brings down this power tool so we can cut our
scroll
stuff.
saw.
Yeah, a scroll saw.
For the initiated, the woodworking among us.
And Anna is like, well, teach me how to use it. And
that was fun.
It was really cute. But then, he tries to teach her, and she's like, stop helping me.
No, I did do that.
It was like... Immediately, she teach me how to do it, and then immediately was like, "Stop fucking telling me what to do."
No, I really am. I'm consistent. I don't know what it is.
It was hilarious.
I have a very. I am who I am. I'm consistent. I am resistant. That's what I am.
Teach me. Stop telling me what to do.
Here's the. So it got me out of a cult. this fire that rages within me.
Yes.
This lack of submission. Actually, there's not a speck of submission in me. But no, we set it on the ground, and he like sat behind me. So like, what is it? Ghost with the potter.
Yes,
the potty.
yes.
So like, he's sitting behind me, and then he maybe had 1 second of showing me, and then I was like, no, stop. I've got
I
it.
did this by myself.
I've got it.
I've solved it.
I'm strong.
It
and
was
smart.
cute. It was cute.
I did a great job.
All right, so we're explaining mates. You get it. And so he's saying
Teach
that
me.
anything that she has to give, I would accept. That's how I feel about what I would do for my mate. I would take anything she chose to give me, the tiniest fraction or her entire world. I would take her for a single night, knowing that I'll lose her by morning, and I would hold on to her and never let her go. I would take her healthy or sick or tired or angry or strong, and it would be my fucking privilege. I would take her problems, her gifts, her moods, her passions, her jokes, her body. I would take every last thing if she chose to give it to me.
Misery, he's talking to you. It's romance.
Yeah, it's romance.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful, but sweet, stupid little Misery. She thinks that this is about his mate.
Yeah, she thinks that he's yearning for his mate that's in the vampire territory.
And like, so we as the readers, we are also supposed to think that, but for not a single moment.
I never once thought. It never crossed my mind that it would be someone else.
That's what I was texting you about.
I know. I was like, no. I know.
You know where this is going. Like, you're aware that this is his mate.
Yes. I was like, oh, I know. I'm on
The truth
board.
is abundantly clear.
My note there was, don't threaten me with a good time.
Yeah. I'll take anything she has to give.
Here.
I
volunteer as tribute.
One bed. What does she say? You can have the bed. I sleep in the closet anyway. Whoops. You're not wrong.
I sleep curled up in the closet. Interesting. So he does like to watch her eat any kind of way, even suck the blood out of those friggin' blood packets.
He's really into it.
He's really into it.
Oops.
And so he makes a comment about how quickly she eats or she feeds on the blood.
And then she looks effervescent.
Yeah, she glows after she drinks the blood.
So cute.
And she's like, were you trying to make a compliment about how low maintenance I am? And he was like, no. If you think that's what that was, you need better ones. Better what? Compliments. I look up once more. He's staring, his eyes halfway between unreadable and indecipherable. What do you mean? You need to be told the right things. He shrugs casually, but the movement feels opposite of casual. That you're intelligent, that you're incredibly skilled at what you do and brave, that despite your weird belief that you're heartless, you're more genuinely caring than anyone I've ever met. You're so resilient, and I can't quite wrap my head around it. That you're very... He pauses, wets his lips, my heartbeat skips. Very beautiful to look at. Always so beautiful.
It's romance,
I couldn't possibly be his mate.
He's not telling you this while in love with another woman.
No.
It's beautiful.
I wrote, okay, Allie, we get it. He's fucking perfect, and he probably has a huge dick.
The foreplay shadowing is working. We get it.
I'd been sold immediately, but I'm like, look, I'm not usually
She's
a
really
super mushy-gushy romantic, but if it's a werewolf telling me this, it's hot.
Oops. My mind can be changed. I'm into it now.
All right, so on page 220, we are espionaging the shit out of this place.
Espionage.
Espionaging. Espionage?
Espionage.
So Lo and Misery are trying to plant bugs in Emery's house. And so at dinner, they make an excuse. Misery has to go feed. So we're going to excuse ourselves.
Because she's a disgusting vampire.
She's a disgusting, horrible vampire. How dare she have needs?
Oops.
And so they are in the office, and as they're planting stuff, they hear footsteps. Someone's coming.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. They think that she's feeding, not putting stuff in the office.
Not coding.
Yes.
Vampire and STEM.
And Lo has a great idea. It's like, well, just feed from me. It'll look like we're engaging in some kind of marital stuff.
There's blood right here.
There's blood right fucking here, babe. Mere feet from us. Things are happening. I hear them distantly, dreamily. Gasps. A frantic, hushed conversation that includes words like low and wife and feeding. A rushed, panicked apology, a door slamming closed, but all I can think is misery. Low grunts. Warmth. I'm feverishly and beautifully warm and empty and bursting and dizzy, liquefying, and I feel like I need more. I need Low to be closer. Misery, he breathes.
She's feeding from him right here
She's
in this
sucking
scene.
his blood.
And she's never feeded from a living person.
Yes, she's only ever done like blood packets.
Because they don't feed directly from
Yeah,
folks.
she was like, I'm merely going on instinct, just like looking for a vein.
And so it just came to her. Literally.
Literally. I don't know when, but my hands have hiked up his shoulders. I moan into his neck, unable to stop myself. I want to climb under his skin. I want him to slide under mine. I want to give him every last thing he asks for. Fuck. His breath is shallow against my temple.
He's unwell.
I think he gets it, though, because he does exactly what I'm unable to beg for. His hand travels down my spine to cup my ass, and he holds me to him while my legs wrap around him. My breasts are achy and tender, and my core throbs, and there's an alarm in my head telling me that I should stop, that I'm drinking too much, and it's killed the silence.
Nope.
Into a moment where Lo finds his fingers into the thick of my hair at the nape of my neck and orders, take more.
She's like, is this too much? Am I too much? And he's like, actually, take all you need. Take more.
Take
Go.
more of my
What the
blood.
fuck?
How am I horny for blood sucking?
For this interspecies, there was only the tiniest percentage of me that was like, what the fuck? The rest of me was like, I'm deeply invested.
I'm deeply mouth-watering. So
the fact that I can be that into this.
yes, that
is
was
saying
only
something.
half of that page. It goes on.
Oh, it goes
she
on.
has an orgasm while she's sucking his blood. It is wild.
Of course she does, though. Like, the more you read it, like, it's long and dirty. It's beautiful.
Yes. And yeah, and the whole time he's like, take all you need. Keep going. Like, he's encouraging her. It's so hot. And she's just, after she's like, oh my God, what the fuck?
Yeah,
What just
seriously.
happened? And like when later on, she's talking to her brother on the phone.
Oh,
and she's like, so I drank his blood. First of all, is he going to be okay? Am I going to be okay? And also something weird happened. He's like, no. I don't
He's
want to
like,
hear
I
it.
know what happened. Stop it right now.
He's like, I have been through puberty before. I don't know. I don't want to hear about it.
Quit it right now.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, the audacity of like, she didn't know that she would come from that.
Yeah.
She really didn't.
She didn't know that
Sweet
it was going
Angel-
to cause that kind of reaction.
Angel baby. She didn't realize. I don't think Lo realized either.
Yeah. He was like, oh shit.
Hot.
It was so hot.
So hot. So like, the woman's pleasure, the female vampire's pleasure is quite centered all through this book.
Yes. So we have many, many orgasms before we even talk about having penetrative sex in this book.
We'll get to the other one. It's ideal. It's a masterpiece.
Yes. Okay, so y'all know I love danger. I love a protect.
You know what you love about danger is you love being rescued from danger.
Yes, I love a protect. And so as a vampire in enemy territory, Misery's life is constantly in danger.
Yeah.
And someone has poisoned her peanut butter.
Her peanut butter.
Yes. So she and Lo are like about to kiss, and she had just eaten the peanut butter, and she just passes out. Pain
She's
in her
dead.
stomach.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was terrifying for everybody.
Yes. She was passed out for 5 days. It was very scary.
She was poisoned
Yes.
by her own fucking father.
How dare.
I love talking about stories with spoilers.
Yes.
Her dad.
Her
fucking
dad
poisoned
poisoned
her. He's a goner. He's not a good person.
Oh, I think he did.
I don't think he did.
I think Lo killed him.
That's my wife.
That's my wife.
Yeah, but it was really scary. She was down for the count. And how did Lo feel about that?
Oh, he was really upset. So while she's passed out, you get sort of like in and out conversations, and there's one where someone's like, "You need to rest," and he says, "No. Come on, Lo, you need to sleep. I'll watch over her," and he says, "No."
He's upset.
He's upset, very angry.
His mate, he's in acute agony.
Yes, that's exactly what he says.
Are you at the place where she wakes up?
Yes.
Oh my God, this is so cute.
So she wakes up after 5 days, opens the door. I open the door to a dimly lit hallway and almost stumble onto the pile of clothes right outside. Anna giving her dolls another makeover, I bet. I hold onto the wall and weakly step around it, but the pile moves.
This is so magical.
It's so cute. It uncurls, then gets up, then stretches very much like a cat would. Then it opens its eyes, which happen to be a very beautiful, very pale, very familiar green. Because it's not a pile at all. It's a wolf curled outside my room, guarding my door. A huge white wolf. A fucking gigantic white wolf.
That's magical.
It's magic.
That's the magic of fantasy. That was really cool.
It's really cute. And he like herds her back into the bedroom.
Yes. And then she's like, I feel like a wet nudge.
Yeah.
A gentle nudge
snoot.
back to bed. And the snoot is, and then she's like petting him. And then she stops. She's like, do you want me to pet you more? And then he's like
nudging his. Yeah. It's so cute.
It's really beautiful.
And then he curls up.
She was shocked. She was like, this is you.
Yeah.
Lo?
She thought he was brown because his hair is brown.
Obviously.
But no, he's a big white wolf.
As a dog lover, this just killed me.
It was really cute. And then she goes back into the closet and then he curls up right beside her. It's so friggin' cute.
He's just so happy she's awake, too.
She says, your alpha tendencies are worse in this form, as he's like nudging her into the closet, like, lay down.
It's like, what'd you expect?
We are about to get spicy.
Let's cross this bridge together.
Woo, woo, woo. So we're getting a confession of at least lust on page 263.
It's right holes.
It's the right holes. The night we met, when you came down the mezzanine stairs, he groans against my shoulder. I thought about doing this. There must be something dramatically, massively compatible between us because I feel every stroke of his fingers deep inside this soul that I'm not supposed to have. Yeah. The hot, mounting sensation in my lower belly knots into a tangle of heat. I squirm, arch my back. Cool air sweeps against my wet nipples. So he's given her a bath because she's been asleep for 5 days.
It's really important, actually.
That he gives her a bath. That
And
he does it.
He has thought about how much he cares for her for 3 days.
Yes.
Or 5 days. I'm so sorry.
Yes.
He almost lost her. He's in human form, or werewolf form now. And so now, yeah.
He's carrying her to the bath.
She needs to get cleaned up.
Yeah. And she needs him to do it for her.
Yeah, she needs to be bathed.
That's right.
Oops.
You looked so cold in your jumpsuit. He sucks at the same spot on my neck that he fixated on back at Emery's on the tarmac. You looked so lovely, so determined, and so fucking lonely.
Oh.
I grind against his hand, shamelessly whimpering at the empty, swollen feeling inside me, clutching blindly at his muscled arm with both hands. I thought about taking you away. I thought about getting you a blanket. His index finger slips inside me, and with a brief adjustment, I push against it. I thought about making you come with my mouth until you couldn't take it anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is...
Yeah.
She's just in the bath, folks.
Yes. So
The dirty talk
is so good.
Peak.
Yes. So we get a bath scene with some like hand action to completion for her. And then she's like, so I think we should kiss because we haven't done that yet.
I've come with you twice. We haven't kissed. I almost died.
Yes. So on page 264, we get a first kiss.
Y'all. But not first orgasm.
No.
First kiss.
But first kiss. It's a messy kiss, instantly, stunningly good. I'm cautious, afraid I'll hurt him, but Lowe's the unrestrained one, feral. He's the one who moves everything along, who nibbles and sucks and bruises. He uses his thumb to tilt my jaw upward, gripping my neck with his large palm once he's satisfied with my position.
This is how you kiss.
It's very deep, it gets very deep very quickly, and I give myself to it, to the filthy way he angles me as though he wants to know my taste from every side.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Folks,
this is how you make out.
it's a written instruction manual right here.
Actually, like if you're ever curious, if you're ever like, what would a good first kiss feel like, taste like, be? It would be this.
It would be this. So, girlies, if you got a straight boyfriend, why don't you just take that passage, let him read it.
Yeah, just play the Smut Club.
Yes. Yeah. Or, listen to the Smut Club. Turn it up. Sometimes men are visual learners.
Yeah. They need to be walked through this.
Yes.
Because sometimes they think that we want things that we don't want. We want that. In the bathtub, preferably.
Yes, in the bathtub. So then scoops up out of bathtub, carries into bedroom.
She's dripping wet.
Yes. And then we're in my room. I expect us to tumble onto my mattress, but he lowers me inside the closet onto the mound of blankets.
So sweet.
It's like her closet.
Not a coffin, a closet.
A closet.
This is an updated vampire.
He lowers me inside the closet on the mound of blankets and pillows I've assembled and instantly pulls back. Low? The timbre of his voice is rough and low. You smell like you just came. I stare back, speechless at his directness. I did just come.
You were there.
And I need to eat you out.
This was too much, actually.
He needs to.
This is too much.
Okay. It's a weird thing, he says, almost apologetic. No apologies.
No, you never actually have to apologize for that.
This is what Allie Hazelwood does the best. A man just desperate to go down on you.
He knows what he wants. He says what he wants. He's desperate to go down on you. It turns him on.
Yes.
I heard somewhere, women are aroused. Women's arousal, the sign of female at birth, arousal is narcissistic in the sense that we're turned on by you being turned on by us.
That's right.
We are aroused by your arousal at our arousal.
Exactly.
That is why it's hot.
Yes. The hotter you get by interacting with us,
you are urgent because
of this.
Because that's hot.
Yeah,
let's go.
That's fucking hot.
He's like, you came. I have to eat you out, actually.
I have to.
What?
I writhe against his lips and give him what he wants. I comb my fingers in his short hair, but he takes my hands, both wrists locked in his large fingers, and pins them to my side.
The fuck?
Be still, he orders. And the sight of me restrained must do something for him because his other arm disappears down his body. The rhythmic flex of his corded shoulder, a mesmerizing sight.
She's done this before.
Yes, he's touching himself because what he's doing to me makes him want to, and the idea is like fire in my belly. I can't. I hiss out, arching into him even more. Yes. Hush. My brain cannot unravel how much he seems to be enjoying this. The sounds he produces, the consuming way he kisses my clit and my opening, and the sweet scrape of his stubble against the crease of my thighs.
Yeah. Did you have a note for that? What was your note for that?
Let's see what I wrote.
Did you have a word? Did you have words?
I have nothing witty to say here. Just holy fucking shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's... What? Like... And the way that she spells it out.
Just word for word, details. And then he says, you're fucking unreal.
Yeah. Yes, I am.
Correct, actually. You're welcome.
It's the most... His arousal at how much he wants her is what is just chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss.
It is so hot. Allie Hazelwood has done that before, that him, like, not being able to restrain himself. He's like, I have to touch myself because I am so turned up by what I'm doing to you.
I'm so turned on by eating you out.
It's too much. It's so good.
It's hot. It's hot. It's hot.
We'll do it every time. Good work. Good work, Allie Hazelwood.
Page 276. I think I shouldn't have fed from you. Why? Owen said that it's not something people should do unless they are... Low nods as though he understands, but then he licks his lips. And you and I aren't? He's so genuinely eager to know. It's like electricity injected straight into my nerve endings. I know. I think with the last few days, the escalating intimacy between us, yes, Lo and I are, but it goes just beyond sex. Long-term feedings create bonds and tangle lives together. It's something that is directly done by people who have deep feelings for each other or the will to develop them. Lo listens intently, eyes never wavering when he asks, and you and I don't. It's like a knife skewering my heart. My stomach is an open, empty ache. Do we? He's silent, like he has his answer, but he's willing to wait for me to find mine. It would be different from what we've done before. It's not just sex or fun. If we get into the habit of this, in the long term, there could be consequences. Misery. His voice is soft, faintly amused. There is a solemn shine in his eyes. We are the consequences.
Whew.
I mean, I feel like I'm just highlighting entire pages. But come on. It's all so hot.
It's beautiful. She's like, I don't know if we should be doing this because if we're not committed and if we're not in this, and he's like, or not? Like we are. You're my mate.
You're my mate.
Wife. Well, and the tension of like the interspecies of it all is interesting, and it is like, I mean, you can have mates across species. It's pretty beautiful.
I'm wondering, I mean, maybe we'll learn more because there's definitely going to be a series here. Like, if there's been others, like, interspecies mates in the past, or if this is the first.
Yeah, because the mates, I mean, clearly there's been interspecies, like, relations.
Yeah.
Because there are some bi-species people, creatures. Makes you wonder.
Makes you wonder.
We do know that it works.
So I do know that my next several highlights don't have a note associated with them because I was very distracted by what the fuck is happening. And just the so many dirty scenes. Once they have sex or once they start like hooking up, it's great. The content's there, y'all.
Slow burn that pays off.
It pays off.
It pays off for so many pages.
So many great pages.
And like if we looked at like the full percentage of this book, a lot of it is smut.
A lot of it is smut. There are things
like,
that I would definitely
there's a lot
qualify.
of plot. Like there's actual plot in this. There's a lot of actual plot. But there's also a lot of actual smut. Actual really, really good smut.
So page 279. Lo's room is dark, but light filters in from the hallway. He deposits me in the middle of the unmade bed, pulling back, instantly take off his shirt. I sit up and look around, processing that this is really happening.
It sure is.
Yeah. I didn't change them for the longest time, Lo says. I admire his beautiful form, the corded strength of his body. I could bite him anywhere and would find nourishment. Sit from his round biceps, the V on his stomach, the hill of his lats. She's just imagining biting him.
She's like, I could feed from any part of your body. Yeah.
Let me suck your dick, actually.
But he's talking about his sheets and how it smelled like her.
What? I'm losing track, skipping words. Didn't change what? The sheets. Why? They smelled like you. When? Oh, my break-in. Sorry. The scent was so sweet. I got myself off to the filthiest fantasies. Misery.
That's great to know, actually. I'll never get that out of my head.
That is in there forever, actually.
She didn't even lay in his bed. She was just there snooping.
She was just looking around.
It smelled like him.
It smelled like her.
It smelled like her. So good.
So good. Lo is so hot, you all.
Lo has eyes only for misery.
I wish I had, I could do a better impression of a man saying this. It's not the same coming from me.
It's really not, but it's still good.
I can't be anything but what I am about this, he whispers against the arch of my ear. There's a hint of apology there. What you are? Where? His hand wraps around my ribcage, then halts right underneath my breast, a silent reminder that we can always stop. Alpha. I wouldn't want you to not be you. He grunts, grateful, and licks a long stripe up my spine and into my nape. He's vocal in his pleasure, vocal in his praise, and even though I don't fully understand it, this is a thing for him. Something important and consuming and maybe even necessary. He pins my wrists again above my head as though he needs to know that I'm here to stay. I struggle against the hole just to test it. Be good. Lo clicks his tongue. You're all right, aren't you, Misery?
There's some real Dom energy here. Some real alpha.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
She is face down, ass up.
Well, obviously, yeah. Which is alpha.
Yeah. Well, it's freaking hot.
It's such a beautiful walking the line. It's a very consensual, informative, and then it's filthy, dominating alpha. It's very good.
Whew. Okay. So they don't have penetrative sex, but maybe once.
Yeah.
In this book.
It did fit. Spoiler.
It sure did, and it's hot. Oh, maybe later on after the third act breakup, but I can't fully remember. It's all in there. But so there's some anatomical differences between werewolves and vampires.
There sure is. I could only barely imagine it.
I just did not quite.
There's a knot?
What I pictured was not very hot, though the act of it was fucking hot.
I just pictured that, the root was thicker. She's reading.
Yes, I am. I'm reading smut right now.
That's how I could picture that, the root of his dick was thicker.
Yeah, so he says that they're not compatible in that way sexually, but they can do other stuff. And she's like, but I want to, which is relatable.
That would be devastating.
I know.
Oh my God.
And so,
as a lover of penetrative sex.
Yeah, he's like, well, let me show you what happens. So he like puts her hand at the bottom of his penis and like makes himself come. And
just a little show and tell.
Yes. And so like after he comes, like the bottom of his dick like swells up.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, maybe I understand why this wouldn't work.
And it really, Allie has us. Allie Hazelwood tricks us.
Yes.
And
we're like, oh shit.
We're like, oh shit. No, maybe
her vagina really can't fit. Make it. I don't know.
Maybe. She really can't make it fit.
She's trying to parse it out in her brain. She's like, but my parts are not that different from other parts. I don't
understand.
She's like, if werewolves and humans can have sex, I've lived with a human. I know what humans' parts look like. I have those parts.
Those are the same parts.
She's like, in her STEM brain, she's like,
Science.
Does not compute.
Data. This doesn't compute. And you know what? She's right. It doesn't compute.
Pressing open mouths bites into my neck, I moan and he pushes harder into me. You need to tell me. This place smells like you and your scent is shooting up my brain and I cannot think about anything but fucking you. So if you want me to stop, you need to tell me. I press my forehead harder against the wall. Please don't stop.
Consent. Also, who in their right mind would ever have him stop?
Absolutely not. So, speaking of not.
Oh,
sorry.
We have
sorry.
Yeah. Speaking of not.
A knot. It's called a knot. I say the word in my head, marveling at how well it fits. Say it, low orders. And when I hesitate, he adds, please, not a knot. His grip tightens. His breath grows shallow. Shit. What? I think I'd like to hear you say it again. I do, just because he asked. He clutches my hip as though he likes the encore even more. Do you know what its purpose is? I may know nothing about were biology, but I'm not stupid or naive. Yes, say it. This is simultaneously mortifying and the most erotic experience of my entire life. Yeah, me too, right now in this moment.
Actually, we were all on pins and needles. Like, what the fuck is happening right now?
To keep it inside. His hand slides underneath my shirt, gently stroking the underside of my breast. To keep what inside, sweetheart? I close my eyes. My heart beats a pounding, sluggish rhythm into every inch of my skin. Your cum. Allie! How dare you?
Allie, this was unnecessary at this point. This was gratuitous. This was flagrant.
Fucking filthy.
Fucking filthy. There's dirty talk and then there's this.
I was like, oh shit. Oh my gosh. I have read.
I mean, he's got her up against the wall.
Bent over. Hands on the wall.
Stroking the underside of her breast.
And he's like, so tell me what it's for.
Explain this to me.
Tell me. Use your words, actually. Jesus Christ.
We were unwell. We were both unwell. We were like, I don't know what to say. When Allie is
writing this book, she's like,
she's a filthy, dirty,
big, giant dick. Awesome. Check. What else could werewolves have? A knot.
A knot to keep it in.
To keep the semen inside. But just for mates. This doesn't happen for everybody.
Oh.
It's just for mates.
Yeah. What kind of brain comes up with that?
It's
so erotic.
Where do you come up with that? I have like read smut where like men find it hot to see their like semen, you know?
Sure.
But I have never once imagined like
the possessiveness of it all.
It's hot. I
mean, she's on the depot shot.
I'm not sure if I highlighted it, but like after they first like have penetrative sex and it's like stuck in there and she just like falls asleep and wakes up and she's like, wow, how long was it stuck? He's like, about 30 minutes. Okay, well.
What are you gonna do? Okay.
I guess it's just for breeding.
It's not hot.
I mean, you know what?
Pun. But like it's not. But like
it worked. It worked for me.
It worked. It was hot.
It was hot.
But also, this is my first like interspecies, or this is my first like
Where the anatomy is different.
Yes.
Yes.
Although bat boys.
But their dicks are, like, normal. They're just big.
Wingspan.
Yeah. But there's no, like, weird stuff happening with it.
That's true.
Some expanding.
It's fascinating. That takes someone skilled to be able to write it in a way for humans that it's not repulsive. It's a turn on.
Yeah. Well, I think the way that she had them doing that dialogue.
Beautiful. Hot.
It's the way to do it. Please, I beg. Please put it in. I mean,
okay.
Yeah. He nods against my tipple, breath shallow and quick. He hooks my underwear to the side.
Panties to the side. We've talked about this on the pod. Urgency.
Woo!
Urgency is hot.
I was so happy.
Panties to the side every time.
Every time.
Well, not every time, but sometimes it is.
Many times.
Many times is preferable.
Pushes his cock inside me, the burning stretch deepening until it cannot go any further. Oops. And whatever it was that I expected from having a man, having low inside me, this is different.
It sure is, honey.
Yeah.
Because this is not a man.
This is a werewolf.
How do we get here?
Oh
Past
my
Anna
god.
and Katie. Did we see this? Yes, we did.
We sure
actually
did
see this. This is exactly where we saw ourselves.
Their third act breakup here is they have not sex.
Not sex.
Not KNOT sex.
Oh. Oh no.
Oh no. And she's like, she starts to parse out. Hold on a second. Gabby is not your mate. She does this whole analytical thing after they have a meeting with Gabby and Owen. Owen's her brother.
And Gabby was indifferent at best.
Yeah, they were indifferent, and he couldn't even remember what she majored in college. And she's like,
What did I major in?
He's like, software engineering with a minor in whatever.
Yeah, because he loves you, dummy.
And she's like,
big dumb girl.
So, I think I might be your mate, and I just want you to know that I also feel that way about you.
She was clear.
Yes.
She was frank. She was brave.
Yes.
And how did that go for her, Katie?
Oh, it was devastating. He was like, I'm sorry I've misled you.
And he turned cold. And
it made me sick. Tears streaming down my face.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking.
It was horrifying.
It was not okay. But he pushed her away, and he was like, "You've got the wrong idea." Fuck? No, wrong.
Incorrect, sir.
I heard what you said to her.
After you just used your knot.
You used your knots. But I've heard. We've read this whole book to this point. These are lies.
Yes, lies.
You're trying to protect her. You're falling on your sword, but you're hurting her in the process. You asshole.
Yeah, it was horrible, and it's just because he thinks that she feels obligated to him because now she's figured out that it's the mate. It's the responsibility. Boo.
But also, she is volunteering this.
Yeah, she's like, hey, maybe I can't quite feel the same way you do, but I'm trying, and I would like to.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
She was like, wait, I didn't realize. And there's also kind of an understanding that vampires don't fall in love, or vampires don't.
She's like, I'm choosing it.
Yeah,
and
she's saying, no, I want to lean harder into this.
Yeah. And so he kind of leaves her and then walks away. And he's like, well, you know what? I think we should just maybe keep separate. Mick is going to come pick you up. And
well, fuck Mick.
Mick actually ends up kidnapping her. And surprise, he's the one who friggin' kidnapped Serena.
And you know how we find that out? This is rapidly. This is giving us JM.
Yes, it's everything's happening at the end of the book.
Yeah, she wakes up.
And it's surprise, Serena's been in this little attic for 4 months, however many markings on the wall.
Harrowing, yes. And it was so strange. It was the vampire tower. But the reunification of Serena, and I hope everyone has read this book already, but it is so beautiful. It was giving the girlies are the real soulmates.
Yes, it was really sweet.
This is her family. Serena means so much to her.
And she's like, hey, I said some stuff I didn't mean.
Yes, they make up.
Yes. And I think she's like, so because we're kidnapped right now, maybe we should table the discussion we were having before I was kidnapped, and we'll figure out how to get out of here. And because they're badass girls, they trick the guard who they call Bob. That's not his name.
Actually, all of them are Bob.
Yes. And they get his hand through the door, and Serena freaking breaks his thumb. And she's like, it only takes 2 more fingers for him to unlock the door for us.
Yeah.
And so then we had this big confrontation in the councilman's office, Misery's father's office, where we learned...
This was wild. This was some SJM shit.
It was wild. And so we learned that, surprise, Serena was also half werewolf the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
And that's why she was investigating Lo's little sister.
Yeah.
What Misery's dad wants is the location of Lo's little sister, Liliana.
Who is also half human, half werewolf.
Yes. And so he takes a knife and he puts it up to Misery's throat in front of Lo and all the other people.
The father is going to slit daughter's throat.
Yeah, and yes.
Twisted, strange.
It's
awful.
horrible. And she's like, well, he goes, I don't think that she's going to sacrifice herself for the good of your little sister. And Lo says, you don't know my mate very well. That was giving SJM.
Yes. And then she said, and he is saying, this is my mate.
Yes, this is my mate right here in front of me.
Yeah. Also, you must not know her very well because she totally would.
That's right.
Oh, beautiful.
And then the way they escape this confrontation, it's incredible. It's fucking badass. Misery, Serena's voice interrupts my thoughts, and when she says something else, something garbled and nonsensical that my brain takes a second to untangle because they have their own secret language.
So cute.
As little besties. It's so precious. The enforcers look at each other, equally confused. Father frowns. Owen tilts his head, curious. But she's not speaking in tongues. There are real words. He's wrong. That's what Serena said in our secret alphabet, without looking away from Lo. About what? About whether I can shift. And she turns into a goddamn werewolf.
It's so fun.
It's so
because everybody's
good.
like, there's no way that she can shift. There's no way.
Yeah, because Liliana can't. At least not yet.
Yeah, well, Liliana is still a baby girl. That was a plot twist. That was really fun. Chills.
It's really, really good.
Actually good plot. Like, actually interesting plot.
Such good plot. And so then, Misery gives this whole speech about, she's like, hey, you know what, Lo, it's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. And I think maybe Liliana, by the age of, 25, will be able to shift.
No.
And then Serena, attacks. It's so, so good.
It's incredible because she's like, I'm going to die. I'll give into this. It was just beautifully done. Beautifully orchestrated. Girlies win.
All right, so after the reunification of the two mates, so the first time they have penetrative sex, Lo pulls out and comes on her back.
Sure.
Because of the knot.
Yeah.
So he slides into the hilt. I arch up, slapping my palms against the mattress. Our hearts stop at the same time and then resume, mine lagging with thuds, his a beating drum. Misery, I want to live inside you. Oh. Jesus Christ.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh me, oh my.
Okay, my note here says it's hot, okay? I don't know.
It's hot. It works.
Oh, so apparently a mating ritual between two mates is they leave the mates, or the male will leave their mark on their partner.
Oops.
And she's like, you can do that if you want to.
There's a lot of biting.
It's hot.
There's a lot of biting. It is hot.
It's hot.
There's a real possessiveness to it.
And when I finally bite you, it won't be on your neck. He lets out a rueful laugh. Nothing as dignified for us, Misery. Oh, where? His palm rounds my throat, cups my nape. The pad of his thumb traces down my spine. Just 1 or 2 vertebrae. Here. I think I'll bite you. Here. He says it like it's a secret, filthy plan he's been working on for a while. And he lets out a rueful, frustrated sound. You'll wear your hair up and people will see it and they will know that I took my beautiful vampire bride the way wolves do and she loved it. And you will be good for me and you will let me, won't you? Yes, I will. Absolutely.
Actually, you say it like that, and I sure will.
I sure fucking will.
Like, what? So good.
So good. So we do get some smutty smut after the big climax of the book.
Yeah. Which is not always the case. So there's some dirty smut afterwards.
And then in the epilogue, we get a little foreplay shadowing for apparently Serena's going to have a book.
I know.
Where she locked eyes with
Cohen, maybe?
Cohen, yeah.
Yeah.
Kendall.
With Kendall. I mean, compelling.
Riveting. And in her acknowledgments where she's thanking all of these people, she writes, I would not like to thank Ticketmaster. A girly just like us. Yes, Swifty.
What?
She like has
I didn't
this
know she said that.
beautiful long list
I
of
would
all these
not
people.
like to thank
I'm
Ticketmaster.
Ticketmaster, fuck you.
Ticketmaster. Actually, the Great War. That's funny. Wow.
That was Bride. Y'all,
We've been on a journey.
I mean, what I highlighted was only just the surface.
Yeah, exactly. To be clear, these are only ever highlights. We're not telling you the whole story. We're leaving shit out.
If I could
read the book,
I simply could not read you the scene with the knot.
Yeah, in case y'all haven't figured this out, there are some like we'll read pretty dirty stuff, but there's some of it that it's like, no, y'all go enjoy that.
Go do
into
that.
your closet.
Yeah,
go enjoy it.
Go into your closet.
Find a bathtub.
I felt like I needed to be in the closet reading that.
I was like, oh my god, my dogs are around me, and I was very self-conscious. I was like, please stop looking.
Don't look at me right now.
Just let me listen.
He has a knot at the base of his penis to keep the cum inside.
It is incredibly hot. All of it.
It's so hot.
The build up. It's good times all around. Please read. The plot is great too, which is rare, honestly. It's actually a good story, and
it's intriguing. It's really good.
A gratuitous amount of
dirty
smut. So it is hot. All right, what's spice rating?
A spice rating, I might throw it up to a 5 just because I was so unprepared.
Okay, I see that. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I would say 2. The 5, it took me off guard. I don't think our listeners will be caught off guard because we have warned there is quite a lot of smut in here, but maybe like a 4.5 because it's not just like over and over and.
That's true.
There's a slow burn.
Yeah, there's some slow burn, some space in between sex scenes. I probably would agree with you.
This isn't a book that's just. This isn't like Faking with Benefits where there's like 20 scenes.
Correct. Yeah, and I guess I'm just used to an Allie Hazelwood.
Yes.
Where, it's always beautiful, beautiful tension building.
Lots of love.
Yes, it's gorgeous. And the sex scene, there's usually 1 or 2. It's long and beautifully written.
It's all relative.
Yeah. And so this was just such a different Allie Hazelwood energy. I was
oh my God.
So pleasantly surprised. I was very, very happy reading this.
Yes, there was a pleasant surprise.
Yes.
Truly.
Lo Moreland, our MMC.
Lo Moreland, he's up there. I mean, he's unproblematic.
Burdened with responsibility.
I did not love the third act breakup.
That was painful to read, for sure.
I see what he was doing. He was trying to make sure it was her decision, but from what I was hearing, it was her decision.
Yeah, I think he just,
that wasn't cool. But, we all make mistakes.
There had to be some kind of separation, I think, for the plot to work. But it hurt me to read. It was sad.
It broke my heart.
Yeah. But I'm still gonna, I might give him,
You're still gonna give him a 5?
I don't know. Okay, Streets and Sheets.
Yes. Streets and Sheets.
In the Sheets, a 1,000 out of 5.
Yeah. This is ideal.
Yeah.
Male behavior, actually.
In the Streets, maybe a 4, just because that
wasn't cool.
Was not listening to her when she said, "I'm choosing you." I would actually like to.
She said those words,
and he lied to her and was like, "You have been misled." That was horrible,
sir. That was not okay. Yeah, so Streets and Sheets.
Some light gaslighting.
I agree. There were some Streets and Sheets there where he was trying to protect her. That's not his responsibility in that capacity, but. She does get the right to choose who she's with. Don't withhold information from her. But that was one flaw.
One single flaw.
That was a singular flaw.
The rest of it, hot.
Yeah, I would definitely say 5 stars in the Sheets. I loved how he centered her pleasure. That was pleasureful.
For me,
as her. That is an ideal kind of situation.
Love it.
I enjoyed the interspecies of it all. How do we feel about our girl, Misery?
I love her. Just so silly.
Misery was fantastic and not a victim.
Not a victim.
Not a victim after all she had been through. She did not feel sorry for herself. She did not make it other people's problems. Mm-hmm. She was brave and she was making something out of her life.
Yeah.
A lot of adversity had befallen her early in life.
And she's protecting her girl.
Exactly. She built a beautiful life, and she built a beautiful chosen family. That was such a great storyline.
Yeah, one of my favorite FMCs that we've had. I really liked.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed her.
And great sense of humor. She was
Just
funny.
So funny at all times.
She was also a fucking insolent woman.
Yes.
Which is
Big
ideal.
same. Yeah.
I prefer fucking insolent women.
That's right. Wow, y'all, thank you so much for listening to this episode. We love this book so much, and we hope that you did too.
It's good times.
We are pretty easy to please.
We really are. This is for entertainment.
Yes.
And this book is deeply entertaining. 400 pages, like, it's worth it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. If you're a romantasy girly and you want a quick hit,
I would even say if you're not a romantasy girly, but you love Allie Hazelwood and you enjoy smut, this could be a great way to adventure into
a nice
some
stepping
romantasy.
stone.
Yeah, if you haven't liked other romantasy, you might really like this one.
You probably will.
Because it's set in the real world.
Yes. There's like cell phones and it's normal stuff.
It's not like in a fantasy realm. So I think it's more accessible in that way.
Yeah.
So I appreciate the writing there. But
I agree.
Dirty, dirty smut. We enjoy it.
Dirty, dirty smut. So if you like this podcast, please rate it wherever you listen. That helps other people find the podcast, boosts it a little bit in the algorithm.
Yes.
And you can follow us on socials at Smut is Better with Friends. You can always send us your thoughts, comments, and suggestions to smutisbetterwithfriends@gmail.com.
Yes. In our next episode, we will know who won the Super Bowl.
That's right.
That's a real plus. Also, we are reviewing some hockey smut.
We've got some hockey smut coming your way. Collide, which has been popular on Book Talk. So if you don't know what that is, go look it up. People are saying it is spicy.
We enjoy some hockey smut.
We love hockey smut.
We frequently bring some specialists, some hockey experts on to consult for
We'll see if
hockey
we can
smut.
get some Savannah energy on that
We'll see
episode.
if we can, what we can do. But, we love a hockey smut moment. We're looking forward to it. Listeners,
right.
Thank you for enjoying. Thank you for reading along with us.
Thank you
interacting.
for engaging on TikTok. I've been talking to some of you.
It's truly a smut club.
Yeah,
It's
a
truly
club.
fun.
Yeah.
We love hanging out with y'all.
And tell your friends, because there's always room in the Smut Club for more people.
Yes, we're an inclusive group.
That's right. All right, y'all. Until next time, don't think too hard about that knot.
Just lean into it.
It's to keep it inside. To keep what inside?
We did it.